Hello and welcome to the Research That Matters segment on today's Smart Chiropractor show. Research That Matters is when we take a few moments each and every week to highlight the monthly campaigns and weekly topics that our smart chiropractors are discussing and talking about in their practice. We believe in a philosophy and strategy of teach and invite consistently. We execute that through a variety of automations across the most popular channels your patients are engaging with: social, email, website, and much more. It is May 2022, which means our monthly campaign is all around the topic of posture. We say posture is the science of body positioning. And our weekly topic that ties into that monthly campaign is the question, is there a perfect posture? And the reason that that is framed that way is if you type that in, you're going to see millions upon millions of responses because there is high demand to receive an answer to that question. So we want you, and definitely all of our Smart Chiropractor members, to be leading that conversation and leading the answers to those questions in your community. How do you do that? I'm going to tie it right back around. You do that by teaching and inviting consistently. So when we analyze this question and we say, is there a perfect posture? The goal of this is not for you, I'm going to say necessarily, to give a definitive answer. The way that I've approached it personally, and we've approached it through the Smart Chiropractor, is this is an ongoing conversation. Is there a perfect posture? Well, there might be an ideal posture for each individual, but perhaps not a perfect posture for everyone. Now, why do I say that? I say that because we always look at the balance between strength and flexibility. And with posture, we look at the balance between static and dynamic. There's something to be said for static posture and understanding where people are in a moment in time. But that has to be played against the dynamic posture. What are their movement patterns? And that ties into what are their activities? What does their daily life look like on the job? What do they enjoy doing? What's their sleep positions? All of these things that I think intuitively we ask and analyze as chiropractors, but maybe don't piece together into the larger conversation around posture with our patients. And the goal of this week's topic, tying into our monthly campaign of the science of body positioning, is to prompt our doctors, to prompt all of us as chiropractors to answer the question in the best way possible. And that the answer might be another question. And exploring that is one of the most important things we can do. So clearly, if patients are coming in and they are jacked up, they have one shoulder like this, they have a hip hike going on, they are antalgic, there are extremes of this, of course. And those things should be addressed very, very directly. But with your patients that are moving pretty well, that are feeling pretty well, that don't have any gross abnormality on the outside, I think it's important to dive into the nuance of this with them and help them understand that posture isn't just about how you stand and it isn't just about how you move. It's the intersection of both of those items and tying that to your lifestyle and your health goals. And that's a simple way to explain the importance of posture to all of your patients, to your community, and help people build that bridge between what's going on with their posture and the benefits of the care that you can provide. Jason, it's Posture Month. It's all about, is there a perfect posture? I'll put you on the spot. What's your answer?
Is there? Well, let's see. Maybe there is for me. So this is a great topic, and I just want to elaborate a little bit. Thank you for covering sort of the didactic, tactical approach to talking about posture. But as you know, there's two types of clients that are part of the Smart Chiropractor. There are those that we basically say are looking to set it and forget it. They want us to do the work for them. They know that they're not going to do email campaigns and social media posts, and they're just not going to do it. So for those of you that are in the set it and forget it category, well, it's been set. And just remember that this month, everybody who's connected to your email and social channels will be learning about posture. This week, of course, asking, is there a perfect posture on their newsletter? Now, on the other end of the spectrum, there are what we refer to as the content creators, those of you that want to be influencers online, those of you that are willing to put forth a little bit of effort to teach and invite consistently, but are smart because you want to build upon the technology and the content we create for you. And so this is where you can sort of think of these topics like in basketball, where you have a pivot foot, right? You got one foot on the ground that doesn't move, but you can move the other foot in a lot of different places. You can move around. Well, what am I saying? What I'm saying is that posture is the pivot foot, but you can take this topic and make it mean a lot of different things. Let me throw out some ideas. For those of you that are chiropractors, who are content creators, looking to build an audience, looking to talk to the people who are following you about whatever most resonates with you, here's a variety of different sort of ways you can approach this topic. So posture means a lot of different things in a lot of different ways. One way to approach it is if you go online, if you watch podcasts, if you're in the internet learning world of any kind, you might have come across the name Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson several years ago became an internet phenomenon. He's a clinical psychologist out of Canada. He's become extremely popular because of the internet and because of his particular views. He wrote a book called The 12 Laws of Life, I believe it's called. And wouldn't you know that rule number one, right? The 12 rules of life, rule number one is stand up straight with your shoulders back and have good posture. That was rule number one. Now, if you do any research, you look into why he said it, you learn from him about kind of what was the philosophy behind that being the first rule of life, you will recognize, you will learn that the reason he made it first, the first rule, this isn't the 12th rule, it's the number one rule, is because this is how we present to the world. That both as far as how people perceive us, shoulders back, tall versus slumped over, both in terms of how the world perceives us, but also how our brains have learned to perceive ourselves. All of you could predict my emotion if you saw me with this type of posture versus if you saw me with this type of posture. You could tell me what I'm thinking and feeling based on my posture. So if you want to get out and start to share with people about how their posture affects their mood and their attitude and how people perceive them, that's an option. You could also approach posture from this whole concept of kids and mobile devices and head cranked down and the poor posture our children are growing up with because of sitting at desks, staring at screens, chin to chest, staring at our mobile devices, maybe not just our kids, ourselves included. So that's another way you can start talking about posture in different ways, all depending on who your audience is. Who are you talking to? If you're talking to parents, you might want to talk about, the impact posture has on kids. If you're talking to others, if you're more of a coach, you want to help people succeed, you may talk about Jordan Peterson and how people see us differently based on our posture. I just put it out there because the goal is to use the topics we provide as the basic ingredients for you to be able to teach what you want to teach most. And these topics are designed to be flexible like that. So sort of in closing, right, we think of what we provide very much like kind of karaoke, all right? And so karaoke can either be sung exactly the way the original artist wanted it sung, or you can take the words, read the words, and you can make them yours in your own particular way and come up with sometimes something even better than the original artist. That's the goal of what our content is all about. This month's Research That Matters is a big topic, posture. Take these concepts, use them month after month after month. If it's set it and forget it, now you know what's going out for you. If you're a content creator and you want to get creative, these are great starting points for you to start getting creative and making these topics unique to you and your voice and your practice.
Very well said, Jason. I could not agree more. Get out there and teach and invite consistently and think about those monthly campaigns. Think about those topics that Jason just described that can make an impact in your community that tie to the benefits you can offer your patients. Your patients in your community have a lot of questions about posture. The only question is, are you leading the conversation and the answers? Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to the Smart Chiropractor. We are posting videos on how you can market your chiropractic practice in a way that teach and invites consistently. We have found that is the magic formula to big time growth. So if you like this video, be sure to comment down below, smash that subscribe button, or visit us at thesmartchiropractor.com.